Hey guys, this was a very simple, very easy, like 5-day turnaround. I'm really actually happy with it. I think it looks pretty good, especially compared to some of the other ones I've seen that they even have for sale and everything. So this is Snake Eyes Unmasked, basically, or my version of it. I went ahead and painted the timber, so you guys can see. I tried not to overdo it. Try to give it like a wolf type of look. Put the clear coat on everything. With these eyes, as I've been doing more and more eyes, I find it easier if you put on this, the base white was already there, so I left it. You clear coat that. You then put your black on and clear coat that, because then when you screw up, it's so much easier to wipe off. Because when you're doing little dots, hold on, like this, it's a pain in the butt. I don't use brushes for that. Like I told you guys, I use different tools. I use sewing needles. I use toothpicks, stuff like that, to be able to do little details like that. It's the only way I can do it. I'm actually wondering if a paint pen, like thin ones, might work too. I was going to look into checking some of those out. With his eyes, I did the, what do you call it? Black light reactive yellow, because I do like that yellow a lot. So it will glow on top of it, but I just really like the way that yellow looks. I have multiple yellows here, and I can't find any other yellow really that's like that. I think I got like 3 or 4 more different ones, different tones, but this one I prefer to use a lot of the time. Now, this was pretty freaking simple. I mean, I think the head took like a day to do. I screwed it up a couple times. When I first was doing it, I was working back and forth with different things, trying to figure out what I would do. When I first did the eyes, I didn't put... Here, move closer. I'll get them off the stand here in a minute, too. I didn't put the white of the eyes in there. I just did the black dots, and I actually gave him blonde eyebrows. And it just didn't look right, even though, like, Joes don't usually have the white of their eyes there. When I put it on there, it actually looked a lot better. With his eyes, I kind of just went with what a few pics online I just used as what you call references, basically. But I did my own thing. I've seen ones where his eyes all huge on one side, everything. This, I did use the black light blue as well, because I do like that blue. I like the hue. It's kind of like a... I don't even know how to explain it, the hue of it. I just like the way it looks, especially for eyes. Same with the purple. The purple looks really good and stuff like that as well. Let's move him a little bit closer. His head also will glow. You know what? Let me trim these off. Because it's mixed with 4 different yellows, and then a black light yellow mixed with normal yellow on top of it. So it has like different shades in the hair. Go ahead and kick that back on. And I didn't really use the black light paint on this to make it black light. It just, like I said, I like the tone of it. So that's just the way it's going to be. Let's go ahead and take him off. I do have a spare head here. This is, like I said in the other video, Black Major Custom version 2. And he does look a lot better with that clear coat. Once I put that clear coat on him, he really he pops a lot better. That plastic's, it's not horrible, but it is cheap, you know what I mean? Go ahead and take him off this stand. Oh, I forgot I really put this on there last night. There we go. All right, so everything is tight now. His arms are super tight. Let me see. I've actually had a hard time moving them down last night. They will go up and down, though. Yeah, you just got to be careful with it so you don't break anything else off of it. His gun, I went ahead and just put a little bit of tiny detail on it, a little bit of silver, just very, very sparingly on both sides. Let me see. Damn focus. There we go. And not much, like I said, just to make it look a little bit different. I knew I was going to do that because this handle wasn't fitting in his hand, and I was going to have to clear coat it, so I figured I might as well just paint it and just do a little bit to it. And with the clear coat that was added to his hand, and I think it was 3 layers of clear coat on this handle, it finally does fit tight in there. It's a lot better. It was really loose and it was just flopping around when I first got him. So I think that looks a lot better. The only thing I might do, I didn't want to take him apart again. His head is just slightly loose. I might have to put a layer of clear coat on that front ball joint area and it'll tighten that up. I didn't want to take him apart. It was kind of a pain in the butt. When I first got him, this is one thing I didn't like. His back screw was completely stripped. This was brand new Black Major Custom as far as I know, because it was bagged. So that's kind of it was not easy getting it out. I ended up having to use a really small flathead and try to get it into the pieces. It's actually right here. I was trying to look for it. But it's just chewed up all the hell. And that was brand new out of the package, so that kind of sucked. But I did get it out without breaking it, without doing anything too horrible to it. This is still loose. It won't fall out of his hand now, but if I do take this apart, and I probably will. God dang it, I didn't want to. And I'll put another little layer on that just to fix that up, and I'll probably put another maybe layer or two on this handle. It's looking like I want it a little tighter. I'm guessing, yeah, it might be like 2 layers, honestly. That's what it's probably going to end up having to be. And now with his head, we'll get a little bit closer. I did do, like, what do you call it? Almost a comic book kind of shading right here in the front with the black. It's a little thick, but I actually like it. It's very easy. If I wanted to fix it, I almost did it. And I don't know, I like the way it looks. It's fine to me. I was just going to add, because it's already clear coated. That's the best way to always paint over the black too, is do the clear coat then paint over the black. Because if you just try to, if you like screw something up with black on here and you try to yellow that, it's going to take you 5-6 layers of yellow to actually go over that black. The rest of it's going to look horrible because of that, because it's going to be caked on in one area. So the best thing to do if you do screw something like that up is just clear coat that and paint over that black, and it'll cover it in one layer. It works really well, actually. Did a little bit of battle damage here to his face. Put a scar down here. With this, I did, when I first did it, I did like a light brown. Here, we'll move these over here. I mixed this like Mars orange, this yellow orch, and dark brown, and kind of just made a little bit of a mixture of that, and I put brown down here, and I did actually, yeah, there's a little bit on the, sorry guys, there's a little bit on the other side, but not much. Like there's a tiny bit at the top and there's a little bit here, and that's it. A little bit more pronounced here. I put red over that brown. Actually, it didn't completely cover it. Here, let me get it focused. But you can see how it like mixed into it. It worked really well, actually. That's actually what I was trying to do with it, and it actually worked. I've never actually done scarring or anything really like that on a face. This head came from Lone Wolf Customs. It did have the scarring on there. It's in there, but it's so dang tiny. It's like, I thought it would be a little bit bigger because when I ordered the, what do you call it, Jason mask from him, the scar that the Jason mask had was pretty defined. Like defined enough that I could use a bigger paintbrush like this to actually do it. And this one, the line, like I said, the lines were there. At first I thought they weren't, but when I went and felt it with this, you could see that there was grooves. There's like a groove here and like a groove here. But I went ahead and added a little bit more damage just because I liked it. Did on this side, like I said, there's a little bit of brown up top, not much, and a little bit of brown coming off the eyebrow. Then I just did the same thing. I did like a red, and then I took the black light red and just put tiny, tiny little pieces in there. Now that I have this closer, we'll black light it one more time, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with that black light red. Just very small, as you can see. I tried not to overdo it with it, but it worked good. And I like how it came out. And I went ahead and because I'm guessing this is 3D printed. There was a slight little, what do you call it? Scrape, basically, from where he's probably taken the posts off on the side of the ear. And the best way I could do it, honestly, to fix it was just create a little bit more battle damage coming down here off the ear, and it worked well. It covered up that. It was almost like a discoloration scrape, but it worked well. And I actually liked how that added a little bit more damage to this side. And like I said, this was pretty easy fix. These knees were just a little bit loose with that clear coating. They're totally tight. The arm that had that major swinging problem, now you really have to crank it. And I didn't put much clear coat on this. I did one base layer originally on all the parts after I took it apart. And after that, I usually have to do another layer, because even if you go heavy on it, which I tend to try not to do because it looks bad when you do that, and it still won't cover everything, so you might as well just put a nice light quick coat. And the second coat, you just put a nice slow quick coat, not too much, and it pretty much covers up everything. Every once in a while you'll find like a piece maybe of the foot, just a very small piece that isn't clear cut, and I just touch that up real quick with just a touch, and that works. So that is my custom idea of what I think unmasked snake eyes would look like. And I really like this. From what I've seen online, this ain't bad. Especially for this size. You can only do so much detail on the head, and I think I did pretty dang good, honestly. My only other idea is, because I don't want to, I thought about sawing this off so that it looked more like a mask, because I wanted them to kind of like, you know, hold it off to the side, but this big ball joint's here. I'm not going to cut it off this one, but I was thinking maybe I could pick up just a head online, because I think they're like $4 or $5 usually for version 2 heads. They're usually not too much. And maybe saw that off so I can keep this and go ahead and throw that on there. The only other thing that I was going to cover real quick is the file card. I didn't really go over it too much last time. I was all excited about getting this. It is pretty cool. From what I can tell, it is numbered 47 out of 100. So if they're not lying, there's only 100 of these, which is actually pretty cool, and why I don't want to destroy the head. So we'll see what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to take that apart, fix that, maybe order that head, but everything else on this is done. And I'm very happy with how this turned out, guys. Very quick, very easy. Learned a lot more about painting heads and stuff. I always learn new stuff when I'm doing stuff. Easier ways to do it, easier ways to figure out, like painting styles and painting easy, quick hacks, basically. So I'll see you guys next video. I do have a few things done here and there, and I did buy myself an early birthday present, because I had literally run out of stuff to work on. So I went ahead and bought a huge lot of stuff, and it should be here in the next few days. I want to thank you guys for watching.